Hey, Pawn family, what's up? It's Yigal. Happy Tuesday. Hope things are going epic for you. We just finished the second day of the 5-day Pawn Marketing Challenge. If you're not in the challenge, I don't know what to tell you. People are doing some amazing things already in this challenge. They're going to make them more money and boost their marketing for sure. If you're watching live, just give me hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, give me hashtag replay. One of the things that we were talking about today in the 5-day Pawn Marketing Challenge was avatar and the importance of knowing your avatar. So I did this really cool little exercise and I asked a question that I've never asked before in a challenge. You see, every one of these challenges are different because I get new ideas, I talk about new things. And I said, explain to me a pawnbroker. Like, what do they like? What do they watch? And where do they buy? And what websites do they go to? Let me ask you that. If you're watching live, what websites do pawnbrokers go to every single day? Love to hear what you think. And one of the questions I asked was, are pawnbrokers skeptics? Are they skeptical? And everybody had a resounding yes, 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 yes. And somebody said something in there that kind of triggered me. It brought something back as to why I started the Pawn Leaders tribe, family, whatever you want to call it. They said, we have to be skeptical in order to survive. You know, when I was taught the pawn business, I had two teachers. One who was a skeptic, and the other who had an abundance mentality, who loved their customers and believed in their customers. See, my father was that mentor. He taught me not to be skeptical. He said, love your customer, trust your customer. Are there some bad cookies out there? Of course there are. Just like there's some bad pawnbrokers out there. Let's be honest. But if you're skeptical, you lose out on deals. If you're skeptical, you don't show up with abundance and love and leadership to your team and to your customers. Whenever you see something, if you're defensive right away, if you're like, wait a second, too good to be true, hold up a minute, this can't be real. I'm not saying to not cross your T's and dot your I's. I'm not saying to do that. But the way that we act at the pawn shop is the way that we act everywhere else. If we're skeptical at the pawn shop, we're skeptical at home. If we're skeptical at the pawn shop, we're skeptical with our loved ones and in different scenarios in our communities. If we're defensive, then that's how we are in our relationships as well. It's hard to take off your pawn persona totally and fully and just leave it at the store. If you have a scarcity mindset at the pawn shop, then you have a scarcity mindset in life. And the way it should be is an abundance mindset. And so when this person said this, and it was, you know, I never judge, because I always believe that comments are perfect and they should be stated the moment that they're stated because it triggers something in people. And for me, it was that, you know, when I came into this business as a vendor on this side, not on the pawnbroking side, it was really hard for me to deal with that skepticism, that scarcity mentality that a lot of you have. Because we built $1 million pawn balance not having that scarcity mentality. And then when I started interviewing people who were huge pawnbrokers, right? Oh, my camera went out. I realized that, if you can hear me, just stick with me. I realized that, that's kind of a dumb face. I realized that, let me know if my camera stopped. So if you can hear me, let's just have a conversation. I realized that they are so successful because they don't have. They're so successful. And if you can still hear me, please let me know in the comments. My camera went out, but I can care less. Actually, I'm going to switch cameras. It's not going to be as pretty. Here I am. I'm right here. If you can see me, let me know, right? So for those who have that scarcity mentality, and I've interviewed hundreds of pawnbrokers before, and so I'm telling you, I've interviewed the most successful pawnbrokers in the nation, the most successful ones. They don't have a scarcity mentality. They're not defensive. They're not skeptical. They've overcome all of that because they know that in order to succeed, you can't act like that anymore. You can't wear that pawnbroker hat that's all of those traits that I said. You've got to wear the pawnbroker hat that's leadership and love and community and entrepreneurship and marketer and strategist, and take that down, take that defensiveness down in order to grow. You know, one of the hardest things for me in the pawn industry, I'm going to be very transparent here, is when somebody comes to work with me, let's say in the Boost program, and I give them the price and they say, oh, that's way too much money. I say, listen, it's 100% guaranteed. If you don't make 5 times what you spent or what you invested on this, I'll give you your money back plus $10 for tacos. It's in my contract. They'll still be skeptical. So sometimes you lose out on incredible deals because of that skepticism. And it might not be at the counter at the pawn shop, but it might be with your spouse. It might be with your friends. It might be with a deal that happens outside of the pawn shop. It might be with your ego. It might be a deal that's going to change your life, a conversation that you need to have, a handshake that you need to make, a lunch that you should go to, all because of that skepticism and that defensiveness. I want you to think about a moment in your life where you were defensive, skeptical. You know, I'll tell you a story about my father. We have some amazing apartments here in Coronado. It's an island. It didn't have a bridge to get to it. It took like 40 minutes to get to it before. My father was offered an apartment for $150,000. He's like, no one's going to live there. It's an army base. It's ridiculous. There's no way to get there. And now each apartment's worth $2 million. If somebody told you to buy Bitcoin, I know Jamie shouts from the rooftops about Bitcoin. You know, if they told you to buy it 10 years ago at 60 cents or whatever it was, and now it's $30,000. I want you to think about times when you've been skeptical and defensive and it's not done well for you. It's hindered your success moving forward. And so as a pawnbroker, if you keep on holding it, that this is the way I need to, like, if you keep on saying, because of this, I've been successful. There's a famous book by an incredible leadership coach. It's what got you here won't get you there. So if you think that the next step above where you are at the moment, your success in your pawn shop in your life is going to be achieved by the same tactics that you've used for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, I don't care how long you've been in business, you are very wrong. You need to learn new tactics. You need to grow as a person, as a leader, as a business owner, as a manager, as a spouse, as a human being. You've got to grow. Because if you don't, your business will plateau and your life will plateau. So let's take the mask off that we wear as defensive, skeptical pawnbrokers and look at the world in a light that shines a little bit brighter. And I know that sounds cheesy. It does. Let's be honest. So if I just hit the cheese button, you know, hit hashtag cheese, that's fine with me. But when you love your team and you love your customers, the love comes back tenfold. When you start looking at things as an opportunity and not a speed bump, you grow. If you're not afraid to fail and you keep working on how to stand up quicker and learn from your mistakes, that's when your pawn balance will grow. And so my challenge to you is to bring down that defensiveness, that skepticism, that scarcity mentality that we've been taught to have. Those who taught you the pawn business taught you to be skeptical. It's the truth. I had that same teacher at some point in my life. I'd go to board meetings and people would tell me things. Why are you doing this? Why are you giving stuff away? That's ridiculous. Why are you taking your team? Stop wasting money. But guess what? Guess what? We built success. And then when I started interviewing those other pawnbrokers, and I'm like, wait a second, that connects. And we started teaching it in courses like Boost, which are the foundational skills of leadership, marketing, and strategy. The mastermind, where we go more in depth on those skills. We saw success. Have we failed? Yeah. Have we made mistakes? Yes. Have I bought fake gold and fake watches and all that stuff? Yes. But do I look at the person across the counter and say, you are here to F me with every customer that walks in? That's just not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the team. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to community. Because without your community, you don't have a business. Without your clients, you don't sign your checks. I've said this before. Your customers sign your checks. So treat them without that defensiveness. Treat them with love and kindness. Treat them without being so skeptical. Again, have your antennas up. I'm not saying to take your antennas down. But what I'm saying is to cut the crap and become a pawn leader. And lead your business, lead your team, lead your customers to shine and to lead like you lead. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for hanging out with my tech difficulties. I don't know what's happening with my camera. I got to figure it out. But if I hit that cheese button, that's fine. Happens once in a while, Jonathan. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Love you all. And just one last thing. Empathy wins. A pawnbroker who has empathy for their team and their clients wins. Might not be in the short game. You might not sell more today. You might not pawn more today. But in the long haul, empathy wins. Love you all.